Welcome to another video of the week. My name is Cynthia Wakio, the Communication and Events Manager at Corporate Staffing Services. And today I'm joined by one of the recruiters at Corporate Staffing, Natalia Caroline. And we're going to be speaking about how you can conduct a successful job interview as an employer. And having interviewed hundreds of candidates for different roles, she has tips from her experience where she's going to share how you can conduct a successful job interview. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Cynthia, for having me once again.
I'm glad you're here, you're back.
Thank you.
All right, so in your experience, define a successful job interview for an employer.
So a successful job interview is not just about getting the right candidate. So it is about how you conducted the whole process from the point where you, first of all, advertised for the role, the applicants you got. How did you also conduct the interviews? Were they seamless? Did you get the right applicants for this job? And of course, at the end of the day, it won't be successful if you don't get the candidate you want. Yeah. So at the end of the day, a successful interview is where an employer is able to fill in a vacancy that they are looking for with the right candidate for the right job, and also fit not just for the role but also for the organization.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like how you've insisted on the fit for the role and the organization, because that's usually very important when it comes to the right fit. And how do you ensure now you successfully conduct a job interview, and what tips can you give employers who interview for the different roles they're looking to fill?
Okay, so how to conduct a successful interview? So first of all, be prepared. So you must plan for these interviews because it's something that you already knew you're going to have. So you must be prepared. So in terms of the interview, I like categorizing it into three. So you have where you start by shortlisting the candidates who applied for the role.
Yeah.
You also do the pre-screening process, then now the initial interviews themselves. So in terms of shortlisting, you shortlist as per the candidates who meet the requirements, especially the key skills and qualifications you're looking for. Then now when you're pre-screening here is where now you get to call the candidates, have a brief phone call maybe of 3 minutes just to get to understand the candidate in terms of maybe their availability. If it's a role maybe that you need somebody available as soon as possible, in terms of what they're getting, the package, is it matching whatever they're getting, will it be fit for the role? Yeah. And you get to understand a few things about the candidate so that you can verify. It's like verifying what is in the CV and also what the candidate is saying. Then now coming to the initial interviews. So here you have already made a phone call to the candidate, you've prepped them and told them you've agreed on a time when these interviews will be carried out, because of course you need to confirm availability of both you and the candidate. Yeah. So when they come, so you've already sent an email, you've told them, you've given them what to expect so that they come prepared also. You don't want a candidate coming and they are not prepared for the interview because you also didn't give them the information they needed to do the interview. So of course give them in terms of the time, the location, and the documents that they need to carry. So when it comes to the day of the interview, you now as the interviewer, what do you need to prepare for? Of course you need to be prepared. You need to prepare for the place where you're going to hold the interviews. In terms of the keeping time, you don't want to waste anybody's time. It's not really fair that you call interviewers or candidates for interviews, yet because you are not prepared, you end up wasting their time, because they are what's the word?
They're also part of the important part of the process.
Yes. And of course, you think about also your reputation. If you look like you're not prepared, candidates might pick up on such things. So once you've prepared, you ensure that now keeping time. And now comes also to the people who are going to be in the panel. Who are you inviting in this panel for the interview? Are they relevant panelists? Because you don't want also to get somebody who maybe is not related to the role coming for the interview, or somebody who doesn't even have an idea what the interview is about and sitting in that panel. Another thing also you need to have as an employer or as you conduct interviews is also have a set of questions, because you don't want to be mumbling in an interview trying to figure out the questions you want to ask the candidate. Make sure you have a set of questions followed up by something we call a score sheet. So the reason why you have a score sheet is, one, it helps us in terms of making sure that there's equality, or so to say, the interview process is fair to all candidates. So you don't end up asking one candidate a different question from the other candidate. So have a score sheet where the questions are similar for the same role, so that each and every person who's in the interview can be able to score the candidate. So it makes it easier to see in the interview who will come out on top. So after you've done you've already known the set of questions and the panelists are there. So now it's when the candidate comes in for the interview. So first thing you do is always make the candidate feel welcome. Because everyone has those nerves, when they're entering into an interview. So make the candidate welcome. And how can you do this? You can do this by being able to, those questions that you always ask a candidate, like tell us about yourself, how what is it that you like doing outside work, so that the candidate can be able also to relax, so that and then you can now follow up with the questions that are based on the role. Yes.
So thank you so much, Natalie, for that. Do you have any other additional tips on this topic?
Yes. So an additional tip, and maybe I also forgot to add it on, always have the candidate's CV ready. So that you are able to, you can analyze it, before the candidate comes in, so that you can be able to see even if there are questions you'd like to ask in terms of maybe their CV, if you notice maybe something like a gap. Another thing is also ensure you avoid distractions. Don't be looking at your laptop, checking your emails, because also it will distract you from whatever the candidate is saying. Another thing is also making sure you listen more, you talk less. We always say it's like a show where a guest invites a host invites a guest. The guest does more of the talking, and the host does more of the listening and asking the questions. So it's the same thing. Listen more, talk less. Also, in terms of the candidates, be able to ask, you can note down some things in case you have follow-up questions. Also, it is okay also to allow the candidate to also ask questions after the interview, or even in the middle. Allow the candidates to ask questions. And lastly, I'll say also give follow-up. What are the steps after the interview is done? Is there going to be another interview? How long will it take to give feedback? Will you give feedback to both the people who are successful and also not successful? Yes.
Thank you so much for those tips, because I think employers most of the times expect the candidate to be prepared, but at the same time they just go in and just try their luck, or not very well prepared, which is crucial if you're looking for the right fit for your organization and the role. So thank you so much for those tips.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you for watching this video. We understand that recruitment can be a tiresome process, and that's why here at Corporate Staffing Services, we do offer this service, the recruitment service, end-to-end, where we even help you to come up with a job description, all the way to interviewing, all the way to advising you throughout the recruitment process. We will do all the work for you. So all you need to do is find the details, more information below on the link on the description box. And one of the recruiters will reach out to guide you throughout the steps of recruitment. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.